Hey guys, this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade team for October week 2. This week's lesson is called Ready or Not, and the story is about The story is about Moses and the burning bush. It's like she just keeps going when I start talking. And the 10 plagues. So last week, Lola, be quiet. Last week, kids learned about how Moses' mom, Moshe-Betheth, I can never remember how to say her name, had to show courage because the Pharaoh said that all the Israelite baby boys needed to be killed. And she did not. She kept him alive. She ended up putting him in a basket in the Nile River. And Pharaoh's daughter ended up finding him and raising him. Well, the kids don't really hear this part of the story, but Moses ends up killing an Egyptian slave master, and he runs away into the desert. Well, now we are fast forwarding. Moses is an adult. And God calls him out of the desert through Lola, that's enough. Shush. Through a burning bush. I can't even handle. And he calls him to say that he's going to go to the Pharaoh, and he is going to tell the Pharaoh to let all of the Israelite slaves free. Moses does not want to do it. He does not feel like he is good at speaking in front of others. So God ends up telling him that Aaron can go and speak for him. Lola, be quiet. Eat your chips. And so our bottom line for this week is you can do what you should even when you're not ready. So Moses did not feel ready to go talk to the Pharaoh to release the people, but he went anyways, and he showed courage. So that is what we're learning about all month long, courage, being brave enough to do what you should do even when you're afraid. And our memory verse for this month is be strong and brave. Do not be afraid. Do not lose hope. I am the Lord your God. I will be with you everywhere you go. So make sure if kids didn't get one of these magnets last week that they get one this week. And also make sure that all of your kids get a parent cue to take home so that their parents know what we are learning about in church. So heading over to our leader's guide, we'd love for you to join us at 8:20 and 10:20 in the garage door room for coffee and donuts and just to pray with each other. Great time of community. If not, we'd love for you to be in your small groups by 8:30 and 10:30 to make sure that you've got everything ready to go. Pre-service activity, what you're going to do is you're going to first make it personal as kids are coming in. Make sure you know everybody's name. Use this time to learn something new about your kids. Help any first-time guests to feel really welcomed. And then you're going to tell kids to work together to write lists of 10 things. So they could come up with their own categories, or they could use some of these 10 foods that start with B, 10 songs that have the word love in them, 10 commandments, 10 action verbs, 10 names that start with letter S, anything, 10 kinds of cereal, just working on the number 10. Now, also, this week is show and tell week. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. You can skip this intro activity and do the show and tells then. It's really just a time for kids to show courage, stand up and talk about what they brought. Or you can save your show and tells for the very end. So if you save it for the end, this intro activity, you're going to tell kids to do a series of things back to back. And as soon as you tell them to do something, they need to start doing it. So feel free to pick and choose which ones you want. Also, feel free to make up some of your own. The trick is that you'll need to tell kids to do the next thing in the series before they're finished doing the current thing. So the point is that they won't feel ready to do the next thing, which ties into today's bottom line. So the first series, you're going to say, do 10 push-ups, then say the Pledge of Allegiance, leap as high as you can, and you're going to say those. So while they're doing the 10 push-ups, you're going to say, okay, next, say the Pledge of Allegiance, but they're not ready. Then while they're saying the Pledge of Allegiance, you're going to say, okay, leap as high as you can 12 times. So you're just going to kind of go through those things. If you don't want to do that intro activity, you can use that time to go around your circle and share your show and tells. So you can just close that down by saying, wow, that was pretty crazy. And a lot of the time, you weren't ready for what came next, were you? Well, we're going to go to large group where we hear about somebody else who didn't feel like they were ready to do the next thing. So then you'll head down to the large group area. We do have a live host and live storyteller this week to tell us the story continuing on of Moses. When you get back from large group, we are actually not going to do this old brave activity. I think it's just going to take a lot of time. I don't really like it now that I'm looking at it. So you're going to skip this old brave review activity, and you're going to skip ahead to the review activity that says story song. So what you're going to need for this is these story song strips. Okay, just share, and I can get you more sheets. And you're going to explain that today's Bible story has been turned into a song. Okay, Lola, please share with Henry. And then you're going to tell the kids to work together to put the song lyrics in order. So this is kind of like to the tune of Bingo, B-I-N-G-O. So the kids have to kind of read them and put them together in chronological order. The right answers are in your leader guide. So see if the kids can figure out which familiar song tune this is set to. And then once the lyrics are in order, tell the kids that their task is to perform the song for you. And tell them that it's up to them how they choose to sing it. They can sing all the lines. They could divide into groups, and each group can sing a verse. 3 people could sing together. They could do a combination. Just let them come up with the idea. So then you'll close it down by saying, you all did such a great job performing today's Bible story song. It was quite the story, wasn't it? So much crazy stuff happened, but it was all true. And there's no doubt that Moses wasn't ready for it, and that the rest of the Israelites probably weren't ready for what happened either. But even though Moses didn't think he was ready for that responsibility, he still trusted God and did what needed to be done. And he did what he should even when he didn't feel ready. And you can do what you should even when you don't feel ready. God will be with you, just like he was with Moses. So then for the memory verse activity, you're going to need your Bibles, and you're going to have memory verse strips, which I don't have with me right now, that just has the memory verse broken up into pieces. And then you're going to have these black Velcro boards. Sorry, I forgot to grab one. They look like this. These probably still have the verse on it from last month, but they look like this, and they've got little memory verse, little Velcro parts on them. And what you're going to do is you're going to tell the kids to look up Joshua 1:9. So you're going to skip the first sentence of the verse and then go to the second sentence and read it. Then place all of your memory verse strips at one end of the room and have your group line up to go get one part of the verse at a time, relay style. Then once they have all the pieces of the verse back, they need to work together to put them in order on the Velcro board. Time them the first round, and then if you have time, have them play again and see if they can beat their time. So to close it down, you're going to say, you guys might have realized at first that I mixed up the sets of verse pages, but I bet you had it figured out when you started putting them together in order, and the phrases were divided up differently than the way you had done it. And I don't know if that applies to what we did. So, I think I did not copy and paste this right thing on there. So, that's okay. Just remember the bottom line, you can do what you should even when you don't feel ready, because God is always with you. Then you've got some optional small group discussion questions. Why do you think God sometimes puts us in new situations that are outside of our comfort zone? Henry, be patient. Yes. Okay, you can have it. Yes. What new things have you tried this past year? What can you be doing to help you prepare for the future in order to make a positive impact or to change the world around you? Then to close it down in prayer, you don't need anything. Ask kids to pair up and tell kids to pray for their partners. If they want to share a specific prayer request, Henry, just be patient, please. Then they may do so, but they don't have to. Just give kids time to pray for each other. They can pray out loud or silently, and then just close down in prayer. Also, if you didn't do their show and tell at the beginning, make sure that you save time for that at the end. Again, it's a great time to just get personal, get to know kids and what they brought. And it's also a great time for kids to practice courage and just practice sharing in front of their groups. So that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for being the most amazing small group leaders ever. I'm so thankful for all of you, and I'll see you on Sunday. Mom,